and Jegs and FTI and all the boys that make it work, Fuel Tech. The list goes on and on and on. We just had a couple come up in the tower and give their props off to meeting us in the whole 9 yards. I'm going to tell you right now, folks, that's why we're up here doing it. We're bringing you the show. We got our boys down here in the bleachers over here doing their thing. I think yesterday I pulled up about the third round, looked over and got eyeball to eyeball with one of them, and I told them they better put their dime on the green bean machine. I hope they took my advice, because old Hot Rod looked up and turned on a wind light. And I'm going to tell you right now, the coolers has got to be getting empty, because they're up on the hill up there, son, checking it out. And I'm going to tell you right now, we can't thank all of you enough for being here and supporting SFG. And we still got two $100,000 to win. And if you're not here, folks, you can still make it, because we still got two of them to go. And if you're not here, you can be here by morning and you ain't going to miss a bit of it. But right now, we're going to get back down to business and get these cars back in the lane and going to bring you the best show that I know that's in the market as we know it. And we can't thank Kyle Riley and the crew for bringing it to us. And you've showed up and showed the support just like they deserve. And we thank you for it.
Well done, young man. Mr. Fincham, we've become great friends. Much younger than me, but I've watched his whole career. He's not the only one. I have been fortunate enough to watch a lot of careers like Jegs, Jeggy. I'm 80 years old, so I'm like friends with his dad. And now this is a story that's been told to me, and these boys, they have worked their whole life at Jegs, Troy and Jeggy and all the boys. I don't know how many they are, but
and I've followed them all my life.
But they've got a lot of my money, when I was racing for 20 years. But anyway, I fell in love with the old man, and this was a story that was told to me how Jegs got started. The old man was trying to buy parts and couldn't find them nowhere. Every time he ordered something, he couldn't get it. So he went down there to his shop, cleaned off one end of his bench, and he started Jegs. He started ordering parts in and selling them off the end of his workbench. Now, if it's true or not, Jegs here, we can ask him. But I was told that story by some people who were my age who knew Jeg Sr. So he has trained these boys and worked them, and they've all put their life into that business, and it's now the #1 mail order catalog in the world.
Well, there's one thing about it, Alvin. It doesn't matter how they got started. They're second to none. They're great people, great folks. They're great racers, and like you said, they've lived and breathed racing all of their lives. It's well-deserved, and I'm like you. They've got a lot of my money over the years. They're going to get a lot more of it, and if you're going to want to order something and you want great service and you want great parts, Jegs is where it's at. And like I said, it doesn't matter how they got started. They're the best in the business, and it's just it's just the way it is. You know what I mean? We could talk about it all day long, but at the end of the day, they're just the best in the business, and they've worked hard at it. And however the old dad there got them fired off, he done a really good job, and I'm glad he done it.
Absolutely. It has become the #1 mail order catalog in the world for parts. The only reason for that is because everybody orders them. So we're glad that Jag is here, because he could be anywhere in the world. He has been so many times world champion, and he's known all over the world, not just in the United States, but he's known over the country as Jeggy. So, and his brother Troy came to North Carolina to our big dog shootout, North versus South, and he won $50,000 and carried out of the tower in a trash bag. That was funny.
Oh, yeah. Well, and not to mention that he's got my favorite all-time car sitting over there. I'm wanting to go over there and lay me a blanket beside it tonight and maybe sleep beside of it or something. I don't know. That they'd probably let me.
From the horse's mouth, gentlemen. From the horse's mouth. Johnny Coughlin just texted in. Alvin is dead on my dad. Right on.
Good deal. Hello, my good friend. We've met many times, but it's been a long time.
Troy, Mike, John, and Jeggy, the four brothers. And now they're 4 generations deep because their kids work there, and now Megan's had kids, and stuff, and Brodex is racing. There's a lot of Coughlins running around there, but they all go to lunch. Like I said, they all have worked there their entire lives.
One of the young'uns I watched grow up under my feet, Timothy Thomas. He's taking on Jeff Sierra. And Jeff Sierra won here last year. I think it was 2 years ago maybe. And he said, where's Alvin Dildine? I want him in my photo. So here he is on the right side of the racetrack, Jeff Sierra. He has just gotten better as the years have gone by. Young Timothy Thomas has come from a big family of racers. His dad races, his sister races, his mom races, and he races. And he's raised some beautiful children. He has become a great young man. Jeff Sierra, you can't say enough about him. Run himself in the finals not many weeks ago for big money. So how do you run yourself in the finals for $175,000? It's possible for us to find out this afternoon. Timothy Thomas, I love him to death, but boy, he used to be a rounder. Jeff Sierra, he is just one of the guys, hangs out with some of the best racers in the world. We'll be quiet so they can concentrate.
One of the things that separates SFG and everyone else is door car drags your final. So Sarah can't win and runner up to himself at this event.
Yes. And that's why SFG is still on the market.
It's out there with a 003 reaction time. Sierra? No.
Tim Thomas 10 and dead on 0 in the left for the win. Sarah in the right, 003 and 1 above 8. 11th thou win stripe. Tim Thomas left lane going down to the round of 5 in the dragster category.
You know, Tim Thomas got runner-up in the $1 million race a couple of seasons ago. Young Tim. He was much younger then. But here we go. Cameron Manuel hanging in. And before we started throwing those $1 million races around, he was the highest paid man in SFG. He carried more money out here than anybody. Cameron Manuel taking on Troy Williams. Good start. Both cars 005 to 001. Troy Williams in shape. Can't do it. It goes to Manuel. Off of 473 goes 473 dead 1. 005 6 total. Off of 462 goes 461. He is 6 thousandths too quick with a 001 reaction time. Wow. What does it take to win against these guys? Shannon Justice and Gary Williams. Here they come. They could go either way. Both of them are talented beyond belief. Justice on a 470. 479 for Williams. 9 numbers separate them. I was in the overkill pits earlier today, and I thought it was going to be a shooting. A couple of them had lost, and boy, they were not happy. But here they are, making waves late in the afternoon, as usual. Gary Williams, Shannon Justice. A 28 to 11 bub. Advantage Williams. Win goes to Williams. Off of 479 goes 479 dead 2, making it 13 total. Off of 470, a 470 dead 6 in a losing effort. Hank, take it away, my friend.
Nothing to take away. There ain't nobody out there, Alvin. I got nothing, Alvin.
I just want to know let everybody know I hadn't died. I'm just sitting here between you two guys, listening to stories.
Alvin says, go ahead, Hank. You can announce. No cars a race. Thanks, Alvin. Your turn, Hank.
You did a good job, Hank.
And the win goes to
my
ain't
God.
nobody out there.
It's a good thing we can sit up here and laugh with each other, you know what I mean? And
Yeah.
watch these fellas go out here and lay down 8 total, 6 total, $175,000 on the line.
Yeah, that's amazing. So registration is closed for the evening. It's going to open at 8:30 tomorrow morning to take care of any business you have going on. And anybody that wants to buy their re-entry for their door car for the FTI 100K from Thursday. Y'all got that? I'm trying to dig it. Going to close the fuel shed here at the track at 10 o'clock, which is 25 minutes. You got to buy your fuel, pay for it downstairs in the tower, and then you got to go down and get the fuel. So it's kind of like self-checkout at Walmart here.
If you wait another 8 minutes, you can have another sheet of coffee. Okay.
Can I do this one?
Yes, sir.
Thanks, Alvin. Downtown McKenna Brown, Jegs.com. This is third generation Jegs right here. Third generation driver. Might be fourth because that's the granddaughter of Jeg. Yeah, third. It's third then. Jeff Serra left lane this time, 454 in the left. McKenna Brown right thing, 458. So Silver Fox Dave, he is McKenna's go-to man, crew chief in the right. McKenna going to college in Florida. Her parents let her have Thursday and Friday off from school, but she couldn't come Tuesday and Wednesday. Had to go to school. Reading, writing, and ciphering to the rule of 3. That's what Abraham Lincoln did.
I've got an 11-year-old at the house that couldn't come because he had to go to school, and he wasn't none too happy about it.
Yeah, KJ's boy, Caden, he's really into racing now. He can't come to school. He never would go to miss school.
Well, she just jumped into this thing today, so.
And she's knocking it down. 008 in the left, 003 in the right. Oh. 003, dead 9 in the right. She loses by a thou. 008, dead 3 in the left. 11 total in the left, 12 total in the right. Sarah takes a thou stripe in the left, and he'll move on.
Jegs.
A tractor and trailer might weigh 500 pounds. If you had a tractor trailer load of it, it might weigh 500 pounds.
Yeah, that's for sure. My boy Foley sent me a message there a little while ago and said Mr. Barry Brown was over there at Charlotte doing some top dragster or something like that. So I'm sure they're in the motorhome there watching Carson and excited. But my boy Foley with Warren Engines, they're up there at Charlotte doing the national there. And I reckon Mr. Barry Brown's up there. But I know they've got this thing on as Carson Brown is going on, and big money here on the line. So we're going to be calling the shots just like we see them up here. and we're going to wish everybody the best of luck. And obviously, our hometown boys, you know, we want to pull for them just a little bit. We like them to do good, but we're up here just to call it like we see it. And we wishing everybody the best of luck. As Hot Rod, when he does these videos, and anybody that's ever seen them, when we put them cars in the beans, I'm trying to thump you in the head, but I gave you a thumbs up before I put it in there. And if your wind light comes on, I give you a thumbs up when I go by. Old Hot Rod, he goes out there, and 2 men go down, 1 come back, and I'm okay with it when I'm the one not coming back. And I'm all so good when I am coming back. So that's what the sport of drag racing's all about. But we're going to wish all the competitors the best of luck. And Barry Brown and family, I know you are listening. So Carson's, like I said, he's got that Fast and Fincham shirt on. I believe it's going to be the lucky one tonight. We'll see, as we will tell the story as we see it. So go get you another drink. It's going to be just a minute. Getting them coolers, I'll tell you right now, up there on the hill, them boys up there, they've got the best seat in the house. And I'll guarantee you them coolers is getting low. They'll stock them back up, and they'll be ready, and we'll be ready with you.
Good deal.
Bits from the... So bits from the pits. We just got word that Jeff Serra has broke a rear end in his hot rod and will be jumping in another dragster. So yeah, that enters the degree of difficulty goes up a little bit. The odds at the church group over there is going to change in the stands when you got your boy going from one car to another. But you know what? He's probably got data and information in another car.
He's only driving 3. He's only driving.
Well, here we go. Round 7. All remain competitors to the lanes. Dragsters, you go in lane 2, kind of pull in at an angle. Door cars, lane 8, pull in at an angle. And we're going to meet you back in the back with the ladder. So we got 11 cars in total coming back for round 7. 6 door cars, 5 dragsters. And Jeff Serra's swapping cars. Now, I'm not too worried about it. Like I said, I'm sure Jeff's driven most of the other cars back there in the Withrow camp. And I wouldn't think he'd be too far off or anything at all. And the way he drives, the way all of these guys at this level drive, they're going to put a number on it. They're going to read the race when they get down there, whether they're good, whether they're not good, whether they should be there, they shouldn't be there. And they're going to make the car run whatever number they put on the side. That's just how they do it. You know, I
talked about it earlier. It's folks like that right there could drive a tricycle. You know what I mean? I think they ought to make it fair, and they have to run the tricycle one round and then get back in the car and give people like me a chance. But yeah, folks like that right there could win in a tricycle. You know, bring a wheelbarrow out here and put one of them upside down, and he'd still win the race. So I don't think that's going to be a problem for that young man.
Listen to this. Between me and you, nobody else, just me and you. Leave that phone alone. Me and you. Because we're announcers, side by side. I'll take Jeff Serra right now for $20, and I don't even know what car he's coming in. Just between me and you. Just between me and you.
Yeah, just a friendly little...
I don't even bet. I'm a Christian guy. But
my wife's sitting right behind you, and I don't gamble.
Okay. Well,
that's my story, and I'm sticking to it.
I'll let you get away with it.
Hey, that's the biggest get out right there. He knows. The boss got
I don't have $20.
I'll loan you 20.
You'll spot me 20.
I'll loan you 20.
I owe you.
the money.
Hey, he said he didn't have any money. I'll loan you 20.
Yeah, I love you 20. Yeah.
If he's got money, he just ain't got money in his pocket.
Well.
Brandon Taylor, the opportune, the idea here is you're on the fence at the 8th mile watching. Brandon, BT texted up here. He told us all to be quiet. He's trying to watch the races. I said, well, you're on the fence. I mean, you don't even have an opinion no more. You was 29, 110, 64. You bent the steering wheel hitting a bump down. You went through 3 bottles of nitrous. Your young kid, he only been driving 6 months or something. He went farther than you. So I'm done. That's it, BT. You're out.
They want me to be quiet. They better bring some of that, what they call it, gorilla tape or something, or 200-mile-an-hour tape. They want me to be quiet. They better get some up here, I'll tell you right now, or throw me out of the tire head first. Either way, it's going to be tough on me to be quiet. I'd smother to death.
Oh, boy. Text messages are blowing up now. So we're getting serious. We have 11 remaining 6-door cars, 5 dragsters. Let me look at the flyer and see where we're at. We're going into round number 7. So if you lose this round, you got $5,000 coming. If you win this round, it's worth $10,000. That's the worst you can do.
This is the Fairmont crew.
The fastest Ford Fairmont at the track.
If you like it, that's the best part.
Oh my, we just got barbecue sandwiches in the tower from the Fairmont crew. 522 on the Ford Fairmont. It's been a weird week. We spoke with Rusty Glidden about how they build all their engines on the ground because Alvin told me. I just didn't think that was right, so I had to Google. I went past Google. I went right to Rusty Glidden. He said, true story, every engine his dad ever built was on the ground or garage floor. Never on an engine stand.
And you didn't believe me when I told you about John, talking to him just like we're brothers. You would have Googled that if you hadn't, if one of the boys hadn't. No. Yes, you would. You would have Googled it because you didn't believe it when I told you John cleaned off the workbench. Because I'm 80 years old. You know, you wasn't even born.
Yet. See, I can fact check that. Fact check that. He ain't 80. He's only like 75 or something.
Yeah, we got a new name for us. It's the Three Stooges. We've had a ball up here, and I'm going to tell you right now, Carson Brown was my favorite, but now it's the Fairmont crew out there. They brought something up here to put in my belly, so Carson Brown's still up on the list.
Nick Hastings.
Well, obviously, Nasty Nick, he's my hero. He's my favorite. He thumped me today. And I think of Nasty Nick as a younger brother of mine. And but either way, just all jokes aside, the Fairmont crew has took care of us here. They brought us up some barbecue. We can't thank them enough for it. But I've enjoyed all evening here, being up with my compadres here and bringing the little show here and just talking it over. And every story's just got a little something special to it. So we're just making more memories, and that's what it's all about. And we're fixing to make a lot of memories here in just a little bit. We need Gary Williams and Nasty Nick Hastings. That's who we're waiting on. Or maybe Williams is back. But Nasty Nick, we don't see you, so whenever you get that thing ready, get it back down here. I see my boy Carson Brown out there. He's ready. So they're going to get you fired up. And we're going to make some really good memories here in a little while for somebody, because they're going to cash this $175,000 check from right here at SFG and Kyle Riley and the crew. And Miss Jackie and all the folks down there in the registration, and we want to thank them and the little ladies over here putting the dial-ins in. And I'm going to tell you right now, if I was them, I'd done have my hair pulled out. But now they've been over here with a smile on their face all day long, and they ain't got nothing wrong. They're doing it all right, and we can't thank them enough. So just all the Darlington Dragway officials and crew and what have it. I mean, it's just absolutely marvelous, and that's why the show is going like it is. So we're going to thank all those people, all the hard work they've done, and all you fine folks out here in the stands and up on the hill, down here around the trash can and the whole 9 yards. We thank all of you, and we can't wait to bring it to you.
Let's get the golf carts out of the lanes, please. Golf carts over in lane 12. Simple task. Get the scooters and the golf carts out of lane 9 and 10. Put them over in 11 and 12, please. Serious business back here for $175,000. So let's get the golf carts and the scooters out of 9 and 10, please. You got dragsters coming in 10, trying to get in. So let's go Move the golf carts and the scooters out of 9.
Here I was thinking it was going to take that gorilla tape to shut me up, and the Fairmont crew brought these sandwiches up here, and son, they know how to shut me up and get me a mouthful of this barbecue.
They probably got paid $5 a piece for everybody down there. Done nothing but made the crowd feel good, brother. That's exactly what you've done, and you've been a blessing.
Thank you,
to me
Okie.
and a blessing to all the fine folks out there, because you know they love you, and I hope you have a great career, because I got more behind me than I got in front of me, and I'm not worried about it, and I have no regrets. But when I find somebody like you that loves what they do, I'm going to be behind them 100%.
It means the world to me when Alvin Dildine will say anything to the nature. And like I say, it's the same way when I'm on the other side of the racetrack or in the lanes beside Nasty Nick and Pollard and folks like that. It's an honor to be there, and it's an honor to be in the tower with you and Hank and all the memories that me and you have from the Carolina Coalitions on up and our friendship and the whole 9 yards. It's an honor to be here, and I take pride in what I do, and I love what I do, and I know you've touched base on it. That's how you're good at something. You love it, and it's just like Jegs and that crew. That's why they're good at what they do. They love what they do, and that's why the service is the way it is.
I think about, I'm allowed to go out and sit down in the overkill area. I'm allowed to go sit down with the fuel tech guys. I'm allowed to go to any racetrack I want to in the world. As far as I know, I haven't never bought a ticket to get in at a racetrack that I've been visiting with, even though I wasn't working. I've never been charged at the gate that I know anything about. I've never been a gold brick. I've always tried to pay. I've never been allowed to pay. That's the truth, and God is my witness.
Well, and that's well deserved. Just exactly like you said, you come down here, the camaraderie's great. You get along with everybody. You tell a great story. You tell what you see. You know what I mean? And everything comes from the heart. And when it comes from the heart, people start loving you. And when people love you, they won't let you. They won't accept it because they love you. And the reason they love you is because the person that you are.
I think behind every steering wheel, there's a great story that needs to be told. That's always been my line. I've always used it. Behind every steering wheel, there's a story that needs to be told. Now, I know the new language is coming along. Trip, zip, dead 5, took 7, needed 12. But people my age don't understand what you're talking about. It's only the young group, and they love it.
Yeah.
And I got nothing against that. But I'm from the old school, and I'm too close to the end of the road to start changing now. It's going to be this way till I die if I never work another race.
Well, the thing about it is, we look out here over the staging lanes and all these door cars and all these rails and all these rigs, and ain't none of them the same. There's Fords, there's Chevrolets, there's Dodge, there's, you just go on and on and on, and nobody likes the same color. So there's a twist for everything. You've got your twist, Alvin Dildine. You're one of the best I've ever heard. You always will be. Now, here we go again. Are you singing a rock song? No, you might be a country guy, but they all love you, and it's well deserved. And you've got your side of it. Hank's got his side of it. I got my side of it. You put them all three together, the Three Stooges, Mo, Larry, and Curly there, and it just shows, people's bringing us stuff to eat up here and coming and thanking us and introducing themselves and wanting to meet us. And like you said, glad you're coming in the gate because they know the camaraderie's good, and you've earned every bit of it, my friend, and that's what it's all about.
I sometimes feel like my education holds me back, but if you're honest and you treat people right, my dad never went to school a day in his life, but he's one of the smartest men I ever met.
Oh, yeah, and that goes back to myself. I'm going to tell you right now, I'm not the sharpest pencil in the box. My dad's always told me that. He told me I dreamed I was a carburetor mechanic, and I didn't know how right he was till I met Velocity Carburetors and Mike and the boys down there. And when I sent him a carburetor and I had the squirter drilled out about the size of an ink pen, he called me a life, and I told him he was up against something there, but that's just what it's all about.
Yeah, I remember growing up, I didn't have to go to school if we had a big order of timber to cut. My dad said, I'll teach you what you need to know. I thought my dad was president. I thought my dad was a sheriff. I thought my dad was the preacher. I thought my dad was the county deputy. I thought he was everything because everything he said do, I tried to do it. So I never had any doubt when he said, go do something, I went to do it.
Well, it's just like me. I can't pronounce half of these names up here, but I know the numbers and I know how the figures go, and I know what these drivers are trying to do down there when they stage them up and checking the oil pressure and the water temperature and the whole 9 yards. And my education ain't the best either. I'm an old country boy, but here we go again. Proof's in the pudding. You know, you don't got to be the smartest. You don't got to have the best education. People seem to like me. They seem to want to hear what I got to say, whether I can pronounce their name or not. You know, we're giving them a good 110% and doing the best we can, and that's all we can ever ask for.
That's all there is in a man's soul, just being honest. Just, you know, if you're honest, I don't want to stutter when I'm making a sentence like that, but I want to say it right. If a man is honest in his soul, he has got nothing to hide.
Well, there you go again. Be honest about everything. Be good to people, and the rest takes care of itself. That's just the way it is. And I'm going to tell you right now, folks, they're back there wheeling, dealing. They got $175,000 on the line, and me and my boy Alvin Dildine and Hank the Crank, I've got it right about 4 times, is going to tell you how we see it. And I'm telling you, folks, it ain't going to be much longer.
No. We're going to be done here shortly, and even Reth, who has worked himself to death this weekend, is out there on that racetrack putting teeth back in it for these few cars that remain. So it's a team effort. It ain't 1 or 2, it's everybody. Kyle Riley probably spends 15 hours a day on the phone making notes, making things happen. So even our boss walks around, acts like he's got nothing to do with it, and without him, none of us would have a job or none of us would have a place to go to.
That's why I keep giving praise there. I mean, it even goes back to his family back home and all the time he has to put, all the time and effort he has to put into this and not be with the family. But then he, you know, takes the time with the family, and it starts with him, and it rolls downhill, and it starts with them people out there that was here at 5 o'clock in the morning out of the other night out of the rain and getting this racetrack ready, to the guys in the back, getting us in the left lane and the right lane and getting us down here, and the ladies, you know, like you said, it's like a big snowball. You started out on top of the mountain, it gets bigger and bigger, and without the whole team, none of it works. And look at us, $175,000 to win, and that's proof in the pudding that it works. It starts somewhere, it ends somewhere, and it's a team effort, just exactly like you said. You can call it the Dream Team or the Three Stooges or whatever you want to call it, but it's all the teamwork and the hard work, and that's why I keep praising them for it.
I know I had a chance to go to work for IHRA when I was younger, when Robert Leonard was living. He's gone now, rest in peace. But I decided to be a bracket announcer because Bob Fry worked for IHRA. I learned most of what I wanted to do from Bob Fry. He loved to pick people out in the crowd and talk to them individually, and I love that. You know, I love to call somebody out and ask them how they're doing. So everything that I learned as far as a teacher probably come from Bob Fry, and Bob Fry is still living.
Cabbage, potatoes, and
Oh, Lord, hide it, Sam. Carson Brown ain't got to change. I'll tell you what, we love you and we appreciate you. I'm going to tell you right now. Hey, we thank you, man. I promise you, we're going to have something.
Fairmont team still carrying food in the tower.
You're our favorite, buddy. Appreciate you.
But anyway, I just decided, because I had children, I wanted to stay home. The guys that work for IHRA, they fly out on Thursday. They come back home sometimes on Monday. So I was working for a living, working for a furniture company. I couldn't lose that kind of time. But I've always loved bracket racing, and I've always prayed that they would get paid what they deserve. All my life, I waited for it. I worked for it for 53 years. And here comes Kyle Riley, raised the bar for the whole world. And sometimes I get on my knees and thank God for Kyle Riley, because not only did he do what I was asking God to do, I think he did it because God told him to. And I've seen things happen to him that can't be explained. There's no explanation to it. God just makes it work.
Yeah, well, that goes back, well, I hear noise here, so we're going to have to get on with it, but that goes back to the B&M days with George Howard. You know, he started the bar, and he started the big dollar races, and he was one of the best at it. And like you said, here Kyle Riley steps up to the plate, and he's raised it even higher. But here we go again. It did start back in the days with George Howard. And son, we've got noise and $175,000 on the line, and I'm going to shut up, and we're going to tell you how we see it.
Take it away.
So we got noise, we got 6 door cars, we got 5 dragsters, the little bit of drama this round would be Jeff Serra. Won last round, broke a rear end, and he's hopped in Sean Serra's ride for the day. So Jeff changing cars. Alvin wants to bet me $20 and pick on me that he's still gonna win. I can't bet. My wife's right there.
Right, yeah, but you can't.
I don't bet, honey. Yeah.
I don't think I would have bet with you anyway. I was being funny.
No, I know.
But
We blew our wad already betting $50.
And as we talk about it, got my boy Carson Brown here in the right-hand lane. Like I said, he's from out of Bristol, Tennessee, dial 632, and that good-looking little S-dime right there. And I'm going to tell you right now, he's got old Tommy Plott over there in that left-hand lane. Tommy, no stranger to the big money final rounds. My boy Carson, he's trying to etch his name in it, so it's going to be a good run right here. Tommy Plott over in that left-hand lane. I got all the respect in the world for Tommy Plott, and he's got the prettiest Mustang there is on earth. Shelby Mustanger, I guess, in the left-hand lane. He's dialed on a 533, and his boy Chris Plott there, he's been winning stuff since he was in diapers. So it runs in the family, I promise you. But here we go. They're putting them in the lights. 632 in the right-hand lane, 533 over in the left. Got one out green, got two out green. We've got us a race. One of them's in trouble. Can he take the win with the advantage here? And yes, he does. Carson's 13 up front, has the advantage, runs 36 off of 32. He actually gets behind by 001. Plott misses it just a little bit. That's very uncharacteristic of Tommy Plott, especially this time of the day. He's 32 with a 5 off that 33. So that'll send Carson Brown into the next round. And Barry Brown and family, I tell you what, I bet they've thrown coke and stuff everywhere. And I'm going to let my boy Hank talk about this one.
He keeps calling him his boy Carson Brown. They probably don't even know who he is, Alvin. Never heard of him. Kevin Brannon in the left lane, 551. Scott Taylor in the right lane, 475 for the Camaro Roadster. There is no stage lock at this track, so when they're flickering, I get nervous. What is going on in the left lane? Scott Taylor, 007, one above one for the one and the win in the right. Kevin Brannon, tardy and under, trying to make a race of it. 64 in the left lane for the Rabbit. 007 for Scott Taylor in the right. Jeg Coughlin, 603. Jeg Coughlin Jr. Jeggy, we call him. Nasty Nick Hastings, right side. Nick don't have a delay box in that car. I'd let our viewers at home know. Nick is swapping feet. He raises the converter up. He brings it up. He takes it down. That's his delay box.
The only thing I got in common with Nasty Nick is FTI, baby, and he's a bringing her up, I'll tell you.
So here we go. No box in the right. Been doing it forever in the... Triple 07 red in the right. Jeg Coughlin goes 27 dead 0 in the left. Jeg Coughlin moving on to round number 8. Dragsters coming out next. Cameron Manuel left. Allison Lloyd right. I'm not sure, but I think Allison jumped in that car today.
Could be.
I think Joe Cotton was driving it earlier in this week, and it wasn't running real good, and I think they got her going now. Looks like it's working pretty good today.
Better be. Here comes Cameron Manuel. Cameron, he is no slack. He come from a racing bunch. But Allison Lloyd, been talking about him for a couple of days. 473 to a 487.
Yes, sir. So a lot of money on the line. Some people know we got a little burn down going on here. There we go. They both flickered them in. Neither one of them real good. 20 in the left, 42 in the right. Cameron Manuel, 20 and 1 over for the win in the left. Allison Lloyd, 42 dead 0 in the right. No good for Allison. Timmy Thomas right, Gary Williams left.
This could be amazing right here. It could truly be amazing.
478 in the left, 466 in the right. Gary driving the FTI Performance Transmissions and Converters machine. His brother Troy lost in the last round. $175,000 on the line tonight. You know, boys, we didn't lose, but we ain't got no chance to win any of the money.
No.
We're out.
I'm not greedy. I'm just pleased to be able to watch it.
Unreal. 16 in the left. Oh, no. 16 in the left, 81 on a 78. Call it an 82. And Gary Williams gets behind fourth out. Tim Thomas was 49, dead 2 in the right. Gary Williams, 16, had 33 advantage at the tree and gives it back fourth out. That's racing. That's what we talk about.
Yeah.
Anything can happen.
Yeah, fishing. You know why they call it fishing? It ain't catching, it's fishing.
Yeah, I mean, you're just not going to see Gary Williams make a mistake like that very often, especially when the money's on the line. They got ice in their veins, and I'm sure, like you said earlier, they don't like to lose. He's not going to be happy with that ticket right there. A good valid effort, but...
You notice anything about this pair right here, the DragRaceSolutions.com? It ain't a pair. That's why Alvin was betting me $20 he was going to win. You sneaky old dog. Yeah. Huh. Never been in the car today or all week. 005, 454 on a 460. So I don't know my competition. He just got a time run. He got a time run in the 7th round. He's looking pretty good. Old Alvin the dog. I'll bet $20 is going to win, even if he ain't been in the car.
It's a good thing the boss was here. You might have been out $20.
And he was even going to loan me the 20 because he knew.
That's why he was going to loan.
Yeah, I'll loan you 20.
Hey, we should have
Alvin. Yeah, because Alvin don't bet.
My dad told me you got to live a while to have any sense. You have to live a while.
Jegs.
No, he wasn't happy when our boy Williams went down right there. He had a big advantage, and it's just racing. I'm telling you, when you're paying out $175,000 and we're talking about thousands, it's easy to do. And I'm sure that he'll be over there talking to himself about it. But nevertheless, that FTI bunch doing a great job. They always do. They're always in the mix. And we've got still a lot of work to do and a really good show to bring you. As I see Miss Jackie coming across the area here waving at us. She's worked hard, and we sure do thank her for what she does. I go back with Jackie, I don't know how many years, and I'm not going to say how many because I don't want everybody to know how old we are.
What that wave was, goodbye.
Yeah, that wave was goodbye, so well deserved for the day. And I'm going to get off here. I'm going to tell you the... the Fairmont crew, I tell you what, I didn't shut up, so they brought us some more stuff up here, and we can't thank them enough for it. Old Hot Rod's going to have him a good meal here in just a little bit when we crown this $175,000. But the Fairmont crew, he just keeps coming up and down these steps. He's getting a workout, but I tell you what, he's my fave right now because he just keeps bringing stuff up. We can't thank that bunch enough for what they do for the folks, the fine folks up here. And I'm going to need something to eat here in a little while, and it's going to be about the only thing that's going to get me to hush. But they won't let me start eating right now. I'll have it spit all over everybody up here. So I'm going to get it here in just a few minutes. We'll bring it back to you.
So ladies and gentlemen, up on the hill there, up on the concrete on the left side of the track, hey, just a friendly racer observation. When they're getting ready to stage or race, let's be careful with the golf cart headlights and stuff and the commotion moving around. I'm not saying that's what happened last time, but we had some weird reactions, but just like a camera flash or something, you know what I mean? Just be careful with the headlights and the golf carts when the final six come back up here in a little bit. Thank you for that. I'm just a friendly observation. Not saying anything happened. Nobody complained. No blah, blah, blah. But a lot of money on the line, so I wouldn't want to be staging it up and have some golf cart or scooter headlights come flying through my eyesight. So probably wouldn't hurt me anyhow. I'd still be 60.
I was talking about my boy Nasty Nick there just a few minutes ago, and in all honesty, I give him a lot of praise that he obviously deserves, but I really do do my racing around watching that young man. When I lose a round and I come back and I'm explaining it to my boys or to Joey or Joey Boy or one of them, you know, I always look at it and I say, Nasty Nick wouldn't have lost that one. He would have went out and he would have done this or he would have done that, and that's where I put the bar for myself. I try to go out. I mean, I aggravate, you know, when I wear his shirt and I tell people I sleep in it and things to that nature. But I'm going to tell you, folks, you're sitting out here in these stands the whole 9 yards. It's people like Nasty Nick, you know. I'm looking at him when he don't know it, and I'm trying to make my racing program like his racing program, that's very important to me. And I always revolve my racing. Every time I lose a round that I shouldn't have lost, I always look at old Jake and I tell him, Nasty Nick wouldn't have lost that one right there. Now, I'll never be a Nasty Nick, but if I can't bring the bar as high as folks like him and the rest of this bunch out here, as Alvin said earlier, you know, you come to these races right here and you run the best in the business. Hank said it. You may not get to the third or fourth round, but if you ain't paying attention to how these boys right here are checking their tires and how they're keeping their nerves down the whole 9 yards, you're making a big mistake. And I've just chose to try to mimic one of the best in the country at swapping his feet, because obviously I'm a feet breaker. And Chip Johnson said he was the only one that was a foot breaker, and said the rest of us are feet breakers, and it's never been said any truer. And God rest his soul, he just went on to join the Lord there a little while ago, and he was perfectly right. He said he was the only foot breaker that there was, and the rest of us are feet breakers. But here we go again. You know, I try to mimic some of my heroes, and Nasty Nick's one of them. And just like right there, he goes out, he's perfect. He sets on the by run, he comes back and puts her out red and comes right back. And he said something to me here about 2 or 3 weeks ago, and I went out and maybe red lit there, and he said, "You're not scared to win." And that young man's definitely not scared to win, and that's why I try to do everything just like he does. And maybe one of these days I'll be just half as good. And boy, they're having a good time down here. I'll tell you right now, we're having a good time with them.
All remaining competitors, back to the lanes, please. All remaining competitors, back to the lanes, please. We'll take you all. You're getting that close.
I'll be right on done. Hey, thanks, Hank. I may or may not have taken it.
We're looking for all remaining competitors. Right now, all remaining competitors, make your way to the staging lanes. We have come this far, and I guess a couple of days ago when it was raining, we didn't know if we'd see this day. But God knew, so I'm not trying to preach to anybody. I'm just saying, it's not our call.
Well, that's what I said the other day. It's cloudy all day long. We got a sprinkle here or there, oil down here or there. Hey, the good Lord's got a good plan, and I just follow that. If we get it cleaned up, we get it cleaned up. If it don't rain, it don't rain. I don't ever dwell on the, like I say, the good Lord above knows if we need any rain, he'll give it to us. He knows if we need oil down, he'll give it to us. So I just put my faith right there, and here we are. We didn't know if we'd even be alive today, but we are. So we'll just have to thank him for it. About tomorrow morning at 8 o'clock, I think they're going to get that little church service going at about 8 o'clock, and we better not miss it, because I'm going to tell you right now, we want to race a couple of more days. We're going to need all the help we can get.
I won't forget what you told the preacher when he came to pray with you when you was getting ready to take on Pollard. He said, "Son, you want me to pray with you?" And you jerked your hat off, and he said, "Yes, I'm going to need it. I'm going after Pollard." That was funny. So if you can get some help, it don't hurt.
Yeah, it don't hurt.
It don't hurt, especially when you're taking on Pollard. The easiest thing about Pollard is interviewing him. You know, "Pollard, what do you think?" "I'm happy." "How'd you do?" "Well, it's done."
You need to thank any sponsors?
Yeah.
Yeah.
My dad, myself.
Yeah.
Quick interview.
Yeah.
But I love him. He's too big to make fun of. He'll come up here and whip both of us.
Oh, yeah.
We've had some incredible talent here, buddy. I mean, it's still here. It ain't over. We still got a fur piece to go, as you would say, and I would say, from Tennessee. It's a fur piece over there.
Well, I tell you what, you look over in the other lane, you got Kevin Pollard, or you look over in the other lane, you got Nasty Nick Hastings, and I'm going to tell you right now, I've won a few crown jewels off the bottom, and I've not put my stamp on no SFG stuff, but I've only been to 2 of them, and I'm going to tell you right now, them boys right there, they're the best in the business, well-deserved. And you'll bring your A game to the top, or you'll go home disgusted more often than not, because they're going to show you how to do it, or you can get in there and dig with them. I knew when I left Newport, Tennessee on Monday coming up here to the SFG, if I couldn't get through Kevin Pollard or Richard Alford or Nasty Nick at some point through this event, the old hot rod would go back with no money. And Kevin Pollard has not to be denied. He's been my kryptonite. He's 2-0 on me, and I'm 50-50 with old Nick. And I'll tell you what, all them other competitors out there, they've laid down some good laps on old Hot Rod, and they're wanting to put their stamp on SFG, just like old Hot Rod is, and we've got 2 more days of it coming up.
So Carson Brown, that's your boy. He's going to have the bye to the door car final, and Cameron Manuel is going to have the bye to the dragster final. It's going to be Jeg Coughlin Jr. against Scott Taylor. The station wagon against the 67 Camaro Roadster. It's going to be Jeff Serra against Tim Thomas. So we got 3 dragsters, 3 door cars remaining, 6 total. I don't know what we got for money. $225,000 plus another 20. With $245,000 at least left in the kitty.
Well, I've got 3 words and a symbol to say to that. Fast and Fincham shirt.
So we're changing flights up here. We're changing hotel reservation accommodations. We're extending rental car contracts. I got a whole boatload of customers on Monday going to be mad when they don't get to pick their cars up.
Hank the Tank. Crank. Hank the Crank. He's changing up the plans.
I didn't change them. God changed them in Mother Nature.
Yeah. Had our boy Neon Leon come up and seen us there just a minute ago. First time I ever went down to Music City there, they told me to watch out for that Neon Leon, and I parked my old hot rod down there, and I looked up, and here he was sitting over there, and here he was in a little neon, whatever they're called, running about 14 something, and he beat our brains in that thing. So my boy Neon Leon, I go way back with him. I've seen him beat him on a pogo stick. I'll tell you right now, he can get her done. But yeah, Hank the Crank, he's done making all kinds of changes. He's going to get his feel on Sunday, sounds like. He's going to get out here and get the business on. He ain't going to be in Scotty Richardson's truck. Oh, he said it on the bumper down there at Georgia last year at the SFG, and set her back down there pretty hard. And Scotty just retired, went and got him another job, said he wasn't going to have no more race cars for Hank.
I put a hole in the track, dude, for real. Here we go. Hang on. John Coughlin, you are on speakerphone, sir.
What's going on, Hank the Crank?
You are on live Motor Mania. You're on speakerphone. John Coughlin, your brother, is down to 3 in the wagon, the flagship, and we're waiting on him in the staging lanes. What do you think?
Oh, well, he's just probably filling up the nitrous. You never know with him.
So Alvin tells the story that your dad put the parts on the end of the bench and started Jegs Automotive.
Yeah, he didn't miss that by much. There wasn't a whole lot of parts on that bench, but today there's quite a few, so that's kind of exciting.
So tell us Go ahead, John.
What's that?
Go ahead.
I just been really excited to listen to you guys. It's a lot of fun to watch on TV. Of course, I'd like to be there racing with y'all, but it sure is fun listening and
Well, we thank you and your family and all the help and support that you give back to these racers. You got your Jegs All-Star, you got your bracket programs at the local tracks, with the NHRA. I know your hands are in everything and a lot of other racing series and the Motor Mania live feed. So, hey, there you go. Thanks for the Motor Mania live feed. All the Motor Maniacs. This is the guy right here that writes the checks, Johnny Coughlin himself on the phone.
well, I think I still sign the back of them. Jimmy signs the front.
Jeggy signs the front, you sign the back.
Yeah. No, it's great. They do great coverage, Motor Mania. They do a great job, and SFG's done a great job with the car count and the racing, and man, it's really exciting to watch. It's been a lot of fun.
When you gonna come out of retirement? Come out and race with us again.
Around the shop, may show up in one of them, but we've been pretty busy racing the circle track stuff with my son Cody, and we're going to Toledo Speedway tomorrow. He's in the hunt for the championship in the CRA series, so if we get through this year, you never know. May show up. Me and you could team up like old days.
Yeah, that just got a whole really bad sound from my wife over here.
Yeah, mine too. Just kidding. How soon to the next round? Is it pretty close? You say you're waiting on Jag?
Yep, couple minutes. They're back in the lane. I don't know if they'll renegotiate, but I know we got $250,000 in the kitty still, so hit your brother up at lunch next Friday. He's got it.
Yeah. Well, he's doing a great job. It's fun to watch. I'm looking forward to it here. So I can turn the TV back on and we'll see what happens.
Thanks for the call, John. Thanks for all the support from your family. And say hi to your brothers and your dad and everybody at lunch. So thanks again for calling in.
Oh, that's great. My pleasure, for sure. Thank you, guys.
Bye-bye.
All right, bye.
And with that being said, folks, there would be no Three Stooges up here that you could hear from, what was it, Canada, and where else was it?
Finland, Australia,
Canada, Australia,
Mexico, everywhere.
Without Jegs, the Motor Mania wouldn't be going. You wouldn't be able to hear us. You know what I mean? So we just gotta have to thank them for that. There would be no show, and we need to support them for it. You know, they've worked hard all their lives and put a lot of hard work into it, and they make it to where you folks can hear us from all over. So big props out to them, and like Hank said, wonderful that he called in there. I seen Alvin Dill down here. He lit up like a Christmas tree because they go way back, and the whole nine. It's just special moments like that right there that makes SFG number one, just like they are Motor Mania, and Jig's a big part of it.
How Hank can do it, but he hooks us up with some of the most important people in our life, and you get to listen to it. There's a great story there.
I'm very blessed.
He said he said he's very blessed by the man above, and I believe that, Hank.
I believe it.
We're getting close, buddy. One more time. We're not done by a far shot, but this is incredible to get it done tonight. The great, the supper, the tent was great. And I hope the pizza don't go to waste out there. I hope that the campers will get what they want and not let the coyotes and the cookies. Don't let the coyotes carry it off. We want somebody to come and get it.
Joni says she spent a lot of time cooking all those cookies today.
She's been carrying them. I'll tell you that. She's been working. She's been working like. But racers and all you guys, it's not even in. Mom and Dad, don't let those pizzas go to waste. The coyotes will carry them off. So somebody get them and put them in the refrigerator and warm them up tomorrow. We want you to. You're welcome to them. Just don't let the wild animals carry them off. And there are a few wild animals around here. They won't bother you. But they will take your pizza if you leave it out there. We'll let Hank finish this thing when he comes in. I think he deserves it. Him and this hillbilly. Hank? They used to call Roy Hill the hillbilly, but Roy Hill never was a hillbilly. He never was raised in Tennessee. He never slept on the floor. Hank, turn it over to you, buddy.
Thank you, Alvin Dildon. I get to work alongside Guy in the Hall of Fame.
They got to call you something when you get
And Joni just said you're the hillbilly rapper over there. He says he rhymes everything and he talks so fast. Scott Taylor in the right, Jed Coughlin Jr. in the left. Lots of money on the line. Jaggy's big brother just called in, checking in on him, John Coughlin. 475 in the right. Jaggy stays on the 603. Just went 603 with an egg. One of these guys is going to go to the box final. I like the feedback we get from the Motor Mania and everybody watching at home. Blake Richardson, you got some big shoes to fill with Edmund being your daddy. That boy just took you to school again the last couple of weeks. Edmund says, yeah, I got this new car. I think I'm going to go to Bowling Green. Win. U.S. Nationals. Win. Here we go. Three foul separates them up front. Anybody's race. Ow! 008, dead on 3. 11 total in the right. Taking a foul. Jeg Coughlin, 11 dead, 112 total, 1 foul behind. He had to go dead on 0 again to make it trip zip. I mean, this racing's insanity. You're right. I'm just staying up here Sunday, dude. I'm done. I got nothing for that.
Cancel the
the
plane flight there.
Right. Send the plane, John. Here's your boy.
Got my boy Carson Brown in the Fast and Fincham shirt sitting on the bye run, coming back to the finals of the door cars. 6:35 on the dial in. That Brown family's gonna have to buy him a new vacuum cleaner because son, they've had to clean stuff up for the last 6 hours. He's out 007, 6:35. Booyah, dead on with a 9, 007 up front. My boy Carson Brown making us proud. They can go ahead and start that vacuum up because I'm going to tell you right now, the young man deserves it. The Brown family deserves it. And I'm going to tell you what, they've got a vacuum cleaner full of Cheetos, chips, and Coke, and Sprite, and water, and I don't know what. Probably some toys thrown in there, too. Nevertheless, my boy Carson Brown coming back, and we got 2 more up.
My boy, the Brown family ain't never heard of this guy before, you know? You just pick one that gets in the late rounds, you start calling him your boy.
Hey, gotta pick somebody.
I ain't never met Timmy Thomas. My boy, Timmy Thomas, in the left-hand lane. They got Cheetos everywhere.
Here you go, Hank. Take them away.
Sean Sarah, not in that car. That's Jeff. That was Sean's ride earlier. Jeff Sarah, 458 in the right. Tim Thomas, 466. Sarah broke a rear end 2 rounds ago. Perfect time to do it. And he got to come back around and get a DragRaceSolutions.com buy run. So he's tuned up for this run. Yeah, he is. Wow. 005, 1 above 2. Smack down on Timmy Thomas. Not a bad lap. 15 dead, 2. You're 17, and you got to listen to that in the other lane against you. That's just wrong. I think there should be a rule you got to dial a little closer so you don't make people like Hank feel bad and quit, you know? I've had people like 13 whacks on me. I'm like, really, dude? I mean, you got to beat me that bad?
Yeah, 17 total. Got to listen to that.
Right. 005, 1 above 2. Uh-oh. Margin of victory. He took trip zip 5 at the stripe.
Then you got to look at that when you get
Right. He didn't do a very good job of breaking out. That's what I always say. 5-10 thou for the win stripe.
I might jump out of the car with it still running.
Paint guns. That's why I think you should be able to take paint guns down with you. Cameron Manuel right side. DragRaceSolutions.com buy run. Identical 005 to Sarah. Cameron is no stranger to big money winning. He got the first SFG $250,000. Amanda, were you with him then? Yeah? You get a new pair of shoes or anything out of that deal? Or a new watch or the ring? New watch? Nah, she's $250,000. All you got was a watch? I would have wanted a car, she says. Watch in a car. Don't get it.
Jegs. Trusted by all since 1960. What you want, when you want it, at a price you want to pay. Jegs.
Out here, and I gotta tell you, Alvin says, how do you get these people over? It's just lots of years, and you meet, like, I meet Rodney, I'm getting close with Rodney, I've been close with you over a couple of years, and I saw that you offered your home up to another person that we, worked with and stuff. Everybody out here, I told my wife when we started getting together, I feel like I could drive anywhere, and I guarantee you, every state, we got somewhere we could spend the night.
That's true.
And we would be welcomed as family, And I ain't saying it'll be a 5-star meal, but they would give you a peanut butter and jelly. So I take fried bologna sandwich.
Hey, 100%. Ferndale Flyer just sent me a message a little while ago, and a lot of people know Ferndale. I go way back with him, and he's offered me to come and stay at his house and offer me whatever I wanted. And when I didn't make it or what have it, we were at Piedmont, and he rolled in there one day, and I had to sit outside the gate, and it was about 32 degrees, and I had a pop-up tent, and I was laying in that thing. Well, the next morning, I throw it up on the truck and pull in and park, and Ferndale come down there and he said, "You ain't gonna believe what I seen outside the gate today." I said, "What's that, Ferndale?" He said, "Some nut was out there in a pop-up tent and at 32 degrees." I said, "It looked like that beside my truck." He said, "That was you, wasn't it?" He said, "I just live an hour away." He said, "I hope you froze to death. You could have stayed at the house." So exactly what you're saying. Ferndale there, he's offered me, like I say, he told me to come to somewhere here, maybe, I don't know, and maybe we can make $1. But yes, it's exactly people like that, Ferndale and all our friends and family that make this sport so special to us. And then the jig story right there, it just all comes back. It's the snowball rolling downhill. It turns into a bus at some point. It's the teamwork, the family orientated.
Ferndale was tied up with the aliens big time,
Oh, Chase and Bill?
All those guys.
Yeah.
Ferndale, he
So I
used
don't
to
think I had
used to
my
lead
mic
him
on.
used to lead him down.
And David
You got your
Smith
mic.
said that conversation right there just won 100% of my business for Jegs moving forward. So that's when we started this conversation. We really appreciate everything that Jegs family does. But I didn't have my mic on. I said, I told my wife when I met her, I feel like I could go to any state and I would know someone, where I could spend the night or whatnot. But you see it on Facebook now. Does any of my racing friends, so-and-so's got a flat tire, on exit so-and-so, just set of Kentucky, who can help them?
Who can help?
And then you hear some guy drive 60 miles because he took the tire off his trailer, drove 60 miles, put it on as their spare, gets them on the road to go, it's just, I love all you guys, you're all good people, and we know that with everything that's going on in this country, we all stand and cross our heart for the national anthem, we all take our hats off and pray. So life just don't have to be this difficult, and everybody just wants to keep making it hard. You're either a good person or you're a bad person, period, end of story.
Well, there you go again. Facebook, social media, the whole 9 yards. There's a lot of negativity to it, the whole 9 yards, but it's only negativity if you take it that way. If you join in the bunch, you're just as bad as it is. And this has been going on for years, but there wasn't social media, But now there is social media, and it's a good thing because exactly what you said, you can be in trouble or need something, and somebody's always there to try to help you. Just like tonight, somebody lost their cell phone, and any of us that's lost a cell phone feels like they can't breathe, and we throw it out there, and within 15 or 20 minutes we've got the phone up here. So it's everybody helping everybody. It's the racing family, and it's things like that makes these chill bumps come up on me, you know what I mean? It's family orientated sport, and it's everybody trying to help everybody, and I just don't do the negativity. I make it all positive, and here we go again. Goes back to the Jegs thing, what we started this conversation over. It's everybody helping everybody and all the hard work put into it, and it's well deserved.
I've probably known him like 25 years now or whatever, and I said when I was younger and I met him, I was like, I don't know that I could be as humble as them and I'm going to assume, I don't know what they got for money or whatever, but looks like they're not hurting. I'm just saying I don't think I could be as humble as that family with all, that they have available to them in their lives. And they have always just been nice to me. Like Johnny would give me a hard time back in the day. Hank, why you talk to me like, well, dude, I don't work for you. I don't borrow no money from you, You ain't no different than me. You got to wear tighty whities just like I do, So we were at the house. I'll let a cat out of the bag, little story. We were at the house playing pool downstairs in the basement. Lynn Ellison, Mitch Smith, John, and myself. And over the PA system, there's a little message comes through, John, could you come up here, please? And I started laughing, because he was in trouble. Hank was at his house. No wonder he's in trouble.
Obviously.
So I was like, dude, how do you know which room she's in? This house is pretty small, He goes, oh, don't worry. I know which room she's in. And he came back down later with a pair of underwear and a little alarm clock. And I was starting to make fun of him. He says, Hank, why are you trouble? I'm like, dude, the only difference between you and me, you got a lot more couches to choose from where you're sleeping tonight. I said, I got one when I get in trouble. I know which couch I'm going to. You got like 5 or 6 to choose from. I said, you ain't no different than me, And they're not, but they're just great people in the way they give back, and they're polite to everyone, and they're humble, and just a good family. But my wife would just said it, until she started coming to race with me, she didn't understand or get it of how big of a family this is out here. People don't, if they give you a beer or whatever, they ain't expecting $3 back later.
What do you say?
Check the text. Yes, it's just unbelievable of all the good things that happens at these races besides running for $175,000 with SFG.
Semifinals, back to the lanes. We're looking for 4 of you now. So we got Jeff Serra, Cameron Manuel coming back on the dragster side, Scott Taylor and Carson Brown coming back on the door car side. So what's Carson been running? What's that truck dialing in at roughly?
He's running right around 611, 608, I think, maybe.
We know the Scotty Taylor's 470s in the Camaro Roadster.
Or actually, I take that back. Maybe he's on 640, 650. I don't know. I dialed up 5/10 in a time trial, and you're asking me that. I just know they got the vacuum cleaners full, and they need to clean it out. You know what I mean?
175,000 when he's dialing up a half second, just trying to drop it even. Not nuts, you ain't right. And the girls over here to our left. So we need our semi-finalists back. Cameron Manuel, Jeff Serra in the dragster, Scotty Taylor, Carson Brown.
My boy.
Your boy.
Fast and Fincham t-shirt.
Hank, you were saying.
I don't know what I say. I just ramble.
Well, you were saying that he didn't even know Brown?
I don't think he knows Carson Brown.
Listen to me for a moment. Where he comes from, they're out in the middle of the field plowing with a mule, and they throw their hand up at you as you go down the road. Don't tell me he don't know who he's talking about.
Yeah.
We're Creek Bank cousins somehow.
Creek Bank cousin. You're fishing together.
We're Creek Bank cousins somehow.
Brad wants his finals back.
Finals.
Semi-finals.
That's a good sound to me, brother and sister. That's a good sound. Finals.
Final of each category.
Final of each category. We're in the semifinals. In the no split, $175,000 Jegs incredible event. It has been my joy and pleasure to be here, and I've had a fun with Hank and my buddy from up in Tennessee. We have done some things and laughed and had a good time, and I hope you have too.
Well, one of my faves back in the day when we were running the Carolina Coalitions, and I go back, I told you I've got somebody had made a CD of when I had run Scott Macy in the finals up there, and you were doing the announcing, and you always called me the Tennessee hillbilly, you know what I mean? And I always loved it because that's exactly what I was. And like I said there a minute ago, we were Creek Bank cousins somehow or another, because you come from down in the hills of Tennessee also. So I always go back and listen to that once or twice a year. It's so special to me, and it's, you know, it's like I say, it's those memories like that right there that makes this so special. And just like Hank said there just a little while ago, I got to hang around Hank a little bit at the SFG down in Georgia there last year, and that was my first time, and I loved it. And here I am again this weekend. I've had an absolute ball and meeting more and more people as we seen earlier, and here we go again. You got your fans, I got my fans, he's got his fans, but at the end of the day, you know, it's all good stuff, and together we just bring a really good show. And then you add Kyle Riley and SFG into the mix with Jegs, and I'm gonna tell you right now, it's nice.
I can't do that, you know. I cannot do that.
Does that Jegs pretty good.
Yeah, I can't do it. That's not my wheelhouse.
On the way home last night, well, to the motel, I was riding.
Before or after the waffle?
I was riding with Kyle, and he asked me, said, "What do you think about Fincham?" I said, "How much time you got?" What time is it? How much time you got?
How much time you got?
But it was fun. He loves you to death.
Well, I feel the same way about Kyle. He's a straight up kind of guy, and they told him years ago that he'd never make it, and here he is, you know what I mean? And it's exactly what you said. He's got a good heart. He tries to give back. He's got the best bang for the buck. You just can't go wrong.
I think some of what we don't know, I feel that, or I think I hear sometimes, you know, that he's pretty flexible and helps quite a few people out. You know, so-and-so might not have 450, but he had 400. You know, well, let's go ahead and get in the race today, and you can owe me the 50 bucks, you know what I mean? But
Have you not seen the video?
and he's got all the raffles he does to get people.
We need the finals. We need semifinals, finals coming up, semifinals. I don't know if you guys ever seen the video where he's underneath a bridge with people sleeping in tents, and he's giving away money. Now he's got a big guy with him, a friend. I'm talking about Kyle Riley. He's going from tent to tent,
Helping people out.
giving out money, cash money. Everybody says, I'm not giving them cash money. They'll use it to buy something else with. Kyle didn't care.
Amanda, send that husband of yours up here. Come on, Cameron. Come on, Jeff, Sarah. We got the door car final up here. We need our dragster final. ASAP, chop, bring them up. Let's throw some SFG money around tonight. So the Manuel family, I'm not going to jinx nobody, but the husband is to not be outdone this week. His wife went to the final on Tuesday night, and he's trying to get there tonight. And his check will be a little bigger than her check, and then he can still be the man of the household. Right? Wait, I got a whatever from my wife.
Talking about all these good things, you know, Kyle doing that for the people, you know, and handing out money, and goes back to the 2018 foot brake frenzy when I catch myself sitting in the finals for $20,000, and $20,000 to a redneck like me, you know, is pretty big. And I've got Kevin Pollard over there on the other side, and we make our little deal up, and we're fixing to go around the wall here, and I'm fixing to get to run for the biggest money I've ever had, and all I could talk about was David Collins and Collins Trucking and the family back home, that their dog had got out in the road, and that was their baby, and it got ran over, and I'm fixing to go out here and run for $20,000, and I couldn't say enough for them because I love them so much on how much they've helped me over the times. Hot Rod Fast and Fincham wouldn't be here without them. They've helped me get to some of these races and always got my back, and he's messaged me all day long, and even when I went out there and got thumped, I was still his hero. It's people like that right there, David Collins and Connie Collins and Collins Trucking and all those people that makes this so special, and all these folks that think they like me. It's people like Kyle Riley and David Collins and Jeggy and all that bunch right there that makes this stuff happen, and we got to give them the praise that they need.
Yep. Good done. Well done.
And I think that was what we were saying earlier in the week, Alvin. This whole weekend, the mantra is just be good. Just be nice to the person next to you. Just be good. Be nice. Joshua, my tall, athletic son, Joshua Melvin.
Hey, how's it going?
I'm putting all my eggs in your basket. I'm counting on you, Joshua.
He's getting taller.
Yeah, I think he's still growing.
He got more pizza.
25, he's still growing.
Yeah.
4 of them left. We need you back to the lanes. And I'm going to tell you right now, you got to go hard for the yard, baby. If you want to get that big check. Hard for the yard, the boys say. So got 4 of you left. Let's get them on back in the lanes as quickly as possible. And we're going to crown somebody for $175,000. Looks like they're here. I'm up here hollering for them. They're down there waiting on me. So I'm going to wish them all the best of luck. They all have worked hard, diligently, and they all deserve this. There's 4 of them down there. 4 good-looking hot rods. They every one deserve it, but we can only crown 1. And we're going to tell the story up here just exactly like we see it, so it's up to you guys to lay it down, and we'll talk it up. Won't be long, folks. Get ready.
So Jay Beyer, I love our Motor Maniacs. I mean, I love them. They give you a lot of feedback. You know, like I say something, they correct you, and they'll give you like. But if you do have a question, like who's so and so's son and are they related? They got the same. They update you. They'll give you the family tree because again, it's all over the United States. It's in Finland. It's in Canada. It's in Mexico. It's in Puerto Rico. We have our Puerto Rico friends. They've come on board big time racing with SFG. All the Puerto Ricans do.
Well, at South Georgia, that was the first time that I had ever got to meet some of those guys, and they had seen some of my stuff, and when I was announcing, they were just, you know what I mean, and exactly like you said, it's things like that right there that makes this so special. It's all of us, even though we're doing the announcing, the Motor Maniacs, as you call them, they're part of it.
So Alfredo Ortiz, he's here racing this week, and he's from Puerto Rico. They fly over here. They like leave their stuff in Florida. They fly over. I think they store it in a container somewhere, their cars and things, so that they can come bracket racing. So he texted me one day, and he says, "Hey, Hank, what's your address?" And I'm like, "Well, that's weird."
Yeah.
And I give it to him. Couple weeks later, I get a really nice stainless coffee cup in the mail. It's got a microphone on it. It's got Hank Mulligan. It's got Alfredo's picture of his car on it. I'm telling you, I about cried. I was like, what? I was like, that's my pride and joy.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you're all good. Good people. I love you all. So, Jay Beyer says you guys do a great job. I enjoy listening. And Mopar, man, I've seen you on here all the time when I'm doing the races.
Me too.
So, David Smith. Well, did they split the no split? LOL. Dave, you know we can't talk about that on the PA. I've always said, why not? But
well, Alvin said it earlier. You know what I mean? It ain't none of our business what they do. We're gonna give somebody a $175,000 check. You know, but everybody, when I'm at home, I'm always curious. You know, and I'm making a phone call here and there. I want to know what went down.
But it won't be a couple hours, and we're all gonna know.
100%.
And it's gonna spread through the United States. And there's probably going to be some misinformation. That's how that always goes.
Oh, yeah, bar none. Well, it goes back to my car owner, Shane Cook and Cook's Auto and the Green Bean Machine. Without Shane Cook, I wouldn't be here. You know what I mean? You wouldn't be getting to hear me. You want that whole 9 yards. So, you know, Shane Cook, one of my best friends, and he stays at home and works all week long, and I piddle around a little bit, and then he sends me out here and lets me do this right here. It's special people like that right there. You know what I mean? He's worked all weekend long, I'm telling you, from daylight till dark, and he's let Hot Rod come out here and run his mouth and get barbecue sandwiches and potatoes and cabbage and
cookies,
you know, all the
pizza.
good stuff. So I can't say enough about my buddy Shane Cook and Cook's Auto and all the people that make it happen.
So yeah, my boy Scotty, I think he went and got a job. He tells me, "Hey Hank, it's going to come up, but it won't go over backwards. You'll be fine."
Oh yeah, I was down there, and like you said, when you put a hole in the pavement out there, it didn't take Scotty long, son. He went to doing raffles. You know what I mean?
You're back to raffles, Hank. It came up, and then it went left. I mean, you can't see nothing, and I've never done no wheelies like that. It come up, and then it went left, and I was like, "Oh, I'm out. I'm done with this." And it kicked it left because I hit the bumper and dragged the bumper, and then it kicked it left. Of course, I did everything wrong. You know, I fluttered the gas and let it come down and slam. And he said, "You bent my wheel and you broke my header and you put a hole in the track." And Jesus, it wasn't good. So
And
I don't think I've driven one of his cars. No, he did let me drive it in Florida.
Well, if anybody that knows the Richardsons and Scotty in general, they're and I'm not comparing them to anybody, but they're not good racers. They're good winners. You know what I mean? And they're serious. And Scotty's is serious about anything. I drove his car down at Montgomery at one of the races, and I was sharing it with Tony Brock, and I went out and I lost a round. When I was doing my burnout and shoved that thing in high gear, my finger slipped off the button, so I just hammered her out there a little bit, and I lost about 260 foot, and I came back, and Scotty got me, and I can't even remember what Tony done. He got us both together there because he was footing the bill and that entry or whatever. And he said, what happened? I told him my spine and told him about the burnout. He said, son, if you got to do 5 burnouts, he said, son, we're running for $50,000. He says, there's no excuse for that. I'll put a new set of tires on it, do 5 of them the next time.
Oh, he's serious about winning. And he's on a different level, like him and Peter Biondo. I guess I just didn't pay attention. I've raced a long time, but I'm kind of a jovial type of guy. And some of them are just, they're not normal. I mean, like I went to Vegas with Scotty. I rode out with him, and he lost, and I kind of went over to kind of say something to him. Like, he lost 5th round before the split. And he's like, just get away from me. Just walk away. I'm not taking people right now, And I'm like, I lose, and I'm like, bummer, Where's the cooler? My dad loses, he's throwing helmets and toolboxes are going out of the trailer. And old man Mulligan's nuts. He's competitive, and that's probably why he won nationals and divisionals. Hank, I'm just like, oh, this is great, We're having a good time. Still going some rounds. How far to the bar? Yeah.
Hank, let me tell the folks this. They're wondering where everybody's at. Well, the truth is, folks, they're back here behind the tower being checked. Every one of them is being checked from one end to the other one. That's necessary. When you get down to this part of the money payout, it's necessary. So these cars are back here with the some of the panels being taken off and whatever it takes to check a car. That's what's going on. So just let you know, you just can't come up to somewhere like this and run anything you want to. You're going to go through a tear down, a checkup, and that's exactly what's going on right now behind the tower. Just letting you know, everything's above board.
Well, that brings me back to a story, fellas. My boy, Joey Boy, everybody that has hung out around old Hot Rod at some of these old racetracks, they know who Joey Boy is, and that's sort of the little story on the grinder there a little while ago that we'll leave there. But I was at Bristol at the World Foot Brake Challenge, $20,000 on the line, and Joey Boy, he can put you in the water box now. He does his job. He's really serious now. He might be a case in by dinner, you know what I mean, but now he's really into what we do, and he's a big part of how I've won it. I feel confident when he's out there, and he missed one of my runs, and I'm rolling into the bleach box, and he don't make it, and I had to do my burnout by myself, and I'm mad, and I go out and I get beat, and I come back and I take it all out on one of my best friends, Joey Boy. I take it out on him, let him have it there for a little bit. We got $20,000 on the line, and you can't make it to the bleach box. Maybe you don't need to be helping me. And after about 10 or 15 minutes, I got come back down and calmed down and got to thinking about it. Now, I'd been driving this old hot rod for about 30-something years, and when I got to thinking about it, I used him as an excuse to cause me to lose the round. I went down and sat down beside of him, got him a good cold drink out of the cooler, and me and him both had us a little squall there. And I just told him, I said, son, if I can't do a burnout in this car after 30 years, I probably shouldn't be in it. So I've just chose to learn that all those losses goes on the man behind the wheel. If you've drove one for 30 years and can't do a burnout without your buddy out there and win around, you don't need to be in it. So we'll get a big kick out of that right there. But that's the competitors in us. That goes back to Scotty Richardson, and he'll joke and go on with you when the racing ain't going on. But when you're in that old race car, he expects you to do it all right and win every time. Goes no different than the Williams boys over here when they lost 2 the other day, and you thought the world had come to an end. But that's because they're winners. And if you ain't winners, but then there's always that nasty Nick Hastings. I tell you what, a man that's won everything in the country and more money than I'll ever see in my life. And he's the finest fella you'll ever see, and I ain't never seen him mad, nothing but a grin. We all got our different styles and our different whole 9 yards, and that's what makes us all true to the sport.
What was it I told you this afternoon? There's a story behind every steering wheel, something like that?
That's why I love you so much, Alvin Dildine. That's why you've been my favorite. I always thought you told the best story of the race. There's a story every time there's a race car goes down the track, and Alvin Dildine has been second to none, in my opinion, of telling that story.
I mean, a man that's got 6 kids and racing, he's important to me.
100%. They deserve all the effort we give them up here and more.
So that's the story, like you said about the man helps you with his car. There's a story behind every steering wheel, and it needs to be told. And I've been telling it for years. And that's one of the things that may keep me from going away next year, because all the stories haven't been told.
Well, 100%. I got a text there a little while ago, and I'm just going to leave it there, the name there, but giving you the praise that you deserve. He's been listening to you for 17 years, and he thinks you're the best too. And that's the very things that keep us around. And I aggravate and tell Hank that he's the motivation that lets me know that I got a few years left, possibly. You know what I mean?
I'll tell you, before I came on with SFG and I would listen to the races online, I like his voice.
Oh, here we go again. It's that hillbilly redneck style.
Yeah, but it's smooth. It's smooth, Red, yellow, white, and blue to the lanes. My nephew Caden loves Alvin and loves doing that. And we'll be having Thanksgiving dinner, and out of nowhere, red, yellow, white, and blue to the lane. Now he loves Alvin's voice. So yeah, I think it sounds great. I got a good face for radio. That's me.
Well,
so.
I think that's credited to a nasal overbearing. I had a nasal operation, really did, several years ago. I couldn't breathe. I had a deviated symptom, and they stuffed enough cotton up my nose to fill a mattress, and actually worked on my nose. So I think if there's anything, it may have helped me a little bit. I don't know. I don't care. I've lived 79 years with it, so I'm not going to let it keep me out of a night's sleep.
You can't change perfection, my friend.
So I've been driving back and forth from the hotel to the track, and I've been looking at that cotton fields. Does anybody else want to pull over and pick some of that cotton off there?
I thought, is it really cotton? And I was like, I want to go and get some. Yeah.
I just want to pull the car over and go grab me a little bit, but I'm afraid of the thorns. I don't want to prick my finger or nothing.
It leads you up.
Yeah.
Well, don't try to get it barefooted. Now take that from experience. Yeah.
I don't have shorts on.
But I just feel like I need a little cotton from South Carolina to go back home from. I won't get in trouble on the
Alan
plane.
Dildine said he didn't care if I made no more cotton out as much as they stuffed up his nose.
Well, if you go after it with shorts on, or if you go after it barefooted, you're going to be a surprised individual, because them things have, around the cotton ball, there's nothing but stickers protecting that cotton ball. And people who pick it, they have to put Band-Aids on their fingers, they have to put socks on their hands, because them stickers will just tear you all to pieces. And there's a lot of people in this crowd that picked cotton before.
We don't have machines for that now?
I have a stupid question. Is it the exact same cotton that you would use on your face?
Yes, ma'am.
They don't do any alterations to it?
They clean it, and
Okay.
they put a good
But it
smell.
looked white to me.
They smell it. They put a.
I'm telling you, we're going all kinds of directions up here in this tower.
We're just waiting for the.
Now
Well, I mean,
we're picking cotton.
$175,000 on the line. They're down here willing and dealing. We got to tell a story or two. And our boys down here around the trash can, son, they got it going on up on the hill. We got folks down here ready to see some racing. So it ain't going to be long. Bear with us. We're going to get 2 door cars out here, 2 extension ladders, 2 good-looking extension ladders, 2 good-looking little hot rods right there. Mary Brown and the family, they've cleaned that vacuum cleaner out, son. They've got them a new batch of popcorn now, son. They've give up on the Cheetos. So
I hear engines.
And they're out there cleaning up their tars.
Yeah, they're cleaning up their tars, and Darlington Dragway's got the bite in the track as good as possible, and we hear noise, folks, so it's coming. And I really think my boy Brown's going to be coming out first here.
So we got engines. We have 4 competitors remaining, 2 door cars, 2 dragsters. It's going to be up Scott Taylor versus Carson Brown in the door car category. Now I'm going to let Hot Rod call his boy.
Oh, yeah, I got to call this one right here. But as I always do, we want to wish both of them the best of luck. And I'm going to give them the props they deserve no matter who turns on the win light. But yeah, I take pride in our my Tennessee family there, the Browns. And they've worked very hard and got this young man out here on the big stage trying to put his stamp on it. but on the other side, they've got something to say about it. So as I've said earlier, I'm just going to tell the story the way it comes up on the screen, and whoever wins, I'm going to praise them for it. They've worked hard all day long, and they deserve it. I'm going to give it to them. But that Fast and Fincham T-shirt's been a lucky one all day long, and Carson Griffith is sure hoping that he can carry her on for about 2 more rounds so that Mom and Pops and sisters and brothers and stuff can throw popcorn and jump around like kids on Christmas. I'm going to tell you right now, as they're probably up there at Charlotte trying to get it done, or old Dad is, and the rest of the family may be back home. But nevertheless, Carson Griffith's going to be in the right-hand lane, and here we go again. I said he was running 6:07, 6:11, 6:40 something. He's on a 6:35. I ain't got nothing right all day long, except I did give him that, get him Fast and Fincham lucky shirt. Scott Taylor over in that left-hand lane, I'm going to tell you right now, that's a one good-looking little roadster right there. Old Hot Rod will come over there tomorrow and shine that thing up for him. 474 on the dial-in. Scott Taylor, 3x87. Carson Brown in the 2300. 635 on the dial-in as they light them up and get them ready.
So this is the first time I've seen Scott Taylor go to the left. Carson Brown has been in the right. I haven't heard, you've been racing, I haven't heard if there's a lane difference, reaction time, or ET-wise. So, you know.
Well, I've had 2 or 3 people come and ask me what the difference was left to right. I told them I wasn't good enough to give them a good answer. So I'll tell you right now, Darlington Dragway's been good to me on both lanes all weekend long. I've had no difference in the left, no difference in the right. Carson Brown in on that 635 dial-in as they get ready to put them into the pre-stage. I promise you, son, they're shaking like a dog crapping a peach seed. I'll tell you right now, son, that's like fleas on a dog's back in the middle of a flea patch. 635 in the right, 474 in the left as Carson Brown gets her in first, and the tree's coming, folks. Who you got? Booyah! 1 of them out green, 2 of them out green. We got 4 now separating them up front. Who's it going to be? 002 in that left-hand lane, runs 75 with a 0. Taking the win. Carson's 006 up front, runs 34 with a 2 off of 35, taking 13 thou. Had to take 11 thou or less. Scott Taylor putting her back into the finals for $175,000, and we can't congratulate him enough. It's well deserved. Carson Brown, son, you done us proud, and I know the family's proud of you as we got 2 more coming, and my boy Hank the Crank's going to take over.
So Carson Brown, 20 grand to lose that round. That ain't a bad day.
No, it's not.
That's a pretty good week. I mean, that's more than I make in a year.
I just took his mic because he blew a fuse, so it's up to you, Hank.
Jeff Serra, right side, 458 to dial. Cameron Manuel, 474 the dial. The Manuel family having a good week. Best part of this, Cameron's dad's, or father-in-law is here, Everett. Amanda's dad here racing. You lose here, 20 grand. You lose next round, 50. You win, 175. Bible study, yeah. Oh, man. Oh. Cameron Manuel, trip zip, 1 thou under, taking 28. Right side, Jeff Serra, 15 and 1 over. I'm going to say at 133, he gave him that for sure, because that's 150 all the way. So Jeff Serra just put him on his nose. Trip zip, 1 thou under, 28 stripe, but we all know 133 ain't 459. 15, 8 thou, 12 thou over. Jeff Serra going to his final again against Scott Taylor.
It's just a proven fact. It's that exactly that right there. It just like nasty Nick Hastings. He never gets lost in a run, and he'll just set you out on your head right there. Jeff Serra, it's no wonder why he's won all of what he's won. He goes down.
Jegs.
compare everything off of Nick. Well, when I was, younger or whatever, I would lose a round. I'd come back. I'd talk to my brothers, my dad. I said, "That's a round that Scotty wins." I said, "I'm take too much and I'm under too much. I didn't bail out at the round." I said, "Scotty wins those rounds. That's the difference. Scotty Richardson knows when to get behind that thou and when he can turn it on that thou." And for me, I got a package race.
Well, that's me in a nutshell. They have changed my way of racing because I try to put that bar up there. Every time I lose a round, I just think of it like I'm Nick looking at that ticket. He never loses that round, and so I strive to become that kind of person in a race